Velma, where do I begin? It can be funny, but isn't great. Fans have criticized many things when it comes to the show, for example, the story and race swapping of characters. Race swapping is not the problem for me. The problem is they've completely changed the characters and story. Daphne is a super popular drug-selling bully. Shaggy is just a simp who is desperate to get Velma to go out with him. Shaggy is normally a chill, easily scared dude. He intends to blackmail Daphne into going out with him. Sorry, his name is Norville. I forgot because I barely care about him, and that's the problem. I don't care about any of these characters. It just feels like another show. There's just nothing captivating about them. Fred is a selfish, whiny baby. Fred is a rich white man, so of course he has to be the villain. The additional thing that they thought would make you love his character is he hasn't gone through puberty and has a tiny ding-dong because he's never done anything in his life to evolve. I don't care if I'm being honest. I thought maybe this was a one-time joke, but it's not. One of the episodes revolves around the fact he hasn't gone through puberty and the other thing. To give you an idea of how bad this show is, in the first 5 minutes of the first episode, all these girls are changing in the locker room. They talk about how hot it would be if Daphne and Velma kissed. Mind you, these girls are minors. This show was presumably written by adults, jinkies. It was so uncomfortable, I skipped through some of that scene. This leads me to my next point. The show is inappropriate just to be inappropriate. People are naked for no reason. There are unnecessary sex jokes just because they can. Velma calls Freddy's dad a dilf. Fred throws something at the wall and it cuts some guy's leg off. I believe the show, while cartoon-like with people smashing through walls, is supposed to be grounded in reality. So why in the hell is this just disregarded? This would be a great thing to show at Fred's trial. Also, I was asking myself, is this meant to be funny? I think the writers misunderstood comedic violence. A great adult show that had comedic violence in a scene was Family Guy. There's this scene where Brian owes Stewie money, and Stewie says it's no problem, and Brian will just pay him back later. Brian then later says he forgot the money. Stewie proceeds to beat the living hell out of Brian, and it's funny to watch. Just to put it in perspective, Teen Titans Go has made me laugh more than this show. Also, in episode 1, Daphne and Velma have issues with each other, but still clearly might want to be friends. In the second episode, Velma wants her mother's file, and Daphne says, "Give me $500. So she agrees to sell drugs with Daphne. That's because Daphne is a drug dealer. No, I'm not joking. The drugs she sells are called Zoinks, Jeepers, and Mystery Machine. I guess that might come up later as to why they'll get their iconic catchphrases and the name of their van. Velma goes to sell drugs to her dad thinking he's someone else. You'd think they'd talk about the implications of her father going out for drugs. Dad, we need Daphne and Velma to kiss out of nowhere. In the second episode, they have all this romantic tension, which felt thrown at us, the viewers, while we were watching this, as it was not in the first episode. Look, you can change stray characters to gay. Sometimes it works. A perfect example of this is another HBO Max show, Harley Quinn. I enjoy watching the relationship between Ivy and Harley because it was built up and makes sense in the show. It has stakes in the show and affects the characters. The relationship between Daphne and Velma only affects Shaggy because he doesn't get the date he wanted.
The caption said, "Both moan." And I want to kill my...
Glad I'm not alone. Penguin Zio said, why not just create a new gang of mystery solvers that are still in the Scooby-Doo universe but more adult version of the characters we've come to love? I agree. It could be that the Scooby Gang solves non-violent PG mysteries, and this group solves adult, graphic, violent mysteries. They can compete with each other in different episodes to prove who's the best. It honestly just feels like they just used the IP to get the views they needed. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Scooby-Doo fan because I've never really watched Scooby-Doo. It wasn't a huge interest in my childhood, and that's not to say it's bad, because it's not. So, with all that being said, the fact that I, a person who's only really watched a couple of episodes here and there, and a few movies, recognize that this is a bad show, says something. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can see everything cartoon related. Follow me on my socials, and with that said, stay tuned.